Welcome to another AVID Chat. David Harpo, Jack Arnold. Jack, good to see you today on a sunny Tuesday.
Yeah, good to see you, Dave. It's cooling off a little bit. It's not super hot outside. It's been pretty nice, actually.
It's funny. I walk Clayton to the little, we call it the bus stop. It's the end of the street where another family and I carpool with the kids in the morning. So yesterday he said, "Dad, it really feels like Ohio weather out here." It's like 60, about that, 65. Yeah. Like, not quite, but it's chilly. So it's kind of funny perspective.
He's definitely a Florida kid. Yeah.
No doubt about it. Well, if you're joining us today for our weekly chat, today we're going to talk about how to successfully create a healthy and stress-free spending plan for the holidays. You know, we're through one holiday, Halloween. We're approaching Thanksgiving, obviously Christmas and New Year's. And in finances, that means spending more money normally than either planned or known. And I know personally, I've gone through the holidays before, way back when, and you get through it, you're like, wow, I can't believe I spent that much, or where did it go? So
right.
This is really just to address kind of that and some tips and thoughts as you enter into the holiday season, some things you can do. So have you ever been stressed out about money in the holiday seasons?
Well, yeah. I mean, during the holiday seasons, probably not. After the holiday seasons, yes. I think probably a little bit more stressful. I mean, we're going to talk about some kind of tactical things you can do, but I think it's a lot of it, like, you know, if you're trying to create like a stress-free holiday spending plan, it's kind of broadly applicable to lots of other things. It's kind of planning ahead, but at this point, we're a few weeks out. I guess you would say right now we're kind of in the middle of the holiday season. So, wishing you would have done it 8 months ago is not going to make much of a difference. The whole, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is today. So I think we're going to talk a little bit more about what you can do now that you're kind of in the middle of the holidays versus, what we'll talk a little bit about both, I guess, but more now what you could do.
I think it's a great point. In fact, Melissa and I just yesterday, as we were sitting there having lunch, we have given thought to this already. We actually proactively try to give every dollar a job, so to speak. So we've been setting some money aside for the holidays. But we took a few minutes and just said, well, what are all the things that we know are going to come up that are above and beyond just buying gifts for the kids? And, it was maybe a 5 or 6 minute conversation. Things like, we tend to spend a little bit more around Thanksgiving and Christmas at Sam's Club because we're around the house more, we're having fun, we're having people over. We like to give Clayton and Lucilia's teachers some sort of holiday gift. Maybe it's $100 or something. But, you talk through that exercise, the next thing you know, you have $400 or $500, which in my opinion is good just to know that that's out there and it's going to happen, as opposed to being surprised and it's the 23rd of December, it's the last day, and you feel like you need to write that check. And you're like, I don't know if we have the room, so to speak.
Yeah. Of course everybody's different. You could add a 0 or subtract a 0 from the numbers. It's all basically the same idea. That we did one, I don't know when we did this video. I don't know. It was a long time ago. We did a known, I think we did like known unknowns and all these things.
Yes.
And we talked a little bit about there's certain types of, anything, but spending where, the holidays are one of those like known unknowns. I guess you could say they're kind of known knowns, but it's a little bit of, when it's coming. They come the same time every year. You can get a little bit of an estimate. One is it's in your control how much you actually do end up spending. But two, you kind of know. You can always look back and say, here's what I normally spend around the holidays. Mm-hmm. So again, the best situation is that you plan it out a year ahead of time. Let's say, you're planning for next year's holidays during this year's holidays or starting in January or something. But like to your point, if you haven't done that, just talking it through either with a spouse, if that's what you're doing, or thinking about it yourself and just writing down, like, here's the things that I'm going to need. Here's my nieces and nephews, and here's the kids, and here's the people I'm going to be spending money on. How much do I want to spend for their gifts, let's say? Even if you just stuck that money in an envelope or something, I think that would be a good way to do it. Any plan is better than no plan, I guess, is a short version.
Absolutely. Yeah, it gives you some frame of reference to know going into the last 2 months of the year with all sorts of obligations and things you want to do. One, is there enough? But two, even if you have more than you know what to do with, you don't want to get through the end of it and be like, man, we really overdid it this year. Or, we've even worked with folks before that tend to do I'll use the credit card, I'll rack up a bunch of points, and then I'll work on paying it off the following year. And although that could be good for points, which is a whole nother AVID Chat, it does come with some anxieties that now they have some looming debt that needs to be paid off. And we've worked with people over the years to do exactly what you said. If you get ahead of it, January 1, look back, see what you spend through these holidays, say it's $1,000, and you just say, all right, well, I'm going to start setting aside $100 every single month into the holiday bucket. And then you get through the holidays and you use cash and you don't have any debt. I mean, we've seen it through experience, huge mindset. It's just a better relief, and it's more enjoyable.
It's way better. I mean, it's even cool to do, they do these, Black Friday, and I mean, anytime during the holidays, there's always like things go on sale that don't normally go on sale. So if you are the kind of person that likes to take advantage of things like that, I mean, these are things you can kind of wait for and plan for as the year goes. So when the time comes, you already have the money. It's one of those things where it's like, if you can exert control over the things that you actually do have control over, it's like a world of difference. Like,
yes. Just
take control over the things that you have control over. It really helps your, it's like anxiety or worry or surprise. Sometimes you get through the holidays and you're like, what the heck? Anything. This happens all the time. Yeah. I can't believe I spend that much money on X thing. I never even realized it. It's a little bit of a sinking feeling, especially when you can't go back and undo it. So just taking some control and saying, here's all the people I have, here's how much I'm going to spend on them, set it aside, spend it, and then have some control over it is much better than going out and, fighting through the crowds or going on the internet and just randomly buying things without any kind of plan. And then before you know it, you're, spent double what you thought you wanted to spend or could spend. And now you're kind of regretting it, which is not fun.
Trying to play catch up. As you were saying that, I thought of another little trick that we've done in the past, which is it's definitely a year ahead type of planning thing, but it's also fun, is the day after the holiday, go out and hit some stores. And now this is getting more difficult to time because Home Depot brought Christmas stuff 4 weeks ago. But Halloween's over and you can show up and get the last pickings. They're ready to throw the things in the trash, and things are 70% off. After Christmas and New Year's, you can get Christmas trees for 40 or 50% off if you get the pre-lit ones or whatever. But that's a great way to just save some shekels and prepare for the next year. So when it comes around, you're like, oh, wow, we got some cool decorations that I forgot about. And I know Melissa and I enjoy doing that.
Yeah, it's like the idea of, being prepared is like almost like a superpower. If you can get ahead of these things, you can really put yourself in a position to take advantage of things when we've talked about this a million times. Opportunities present themselves. You have some kind of plan in place and you can take advantage of those opportunities. So that's definitely one of them for sure.
Yep. I think that's it. Quick chat for today. The moral here is give some thought before you start spending. Maybe make a list, talk with a significant other, look at your cash flow. I'm sure you have some idea of what you normally spend every month, and just make sure you apply it to the things that are most important for you so that you don't get through the holidays and maybe regret some overspending.
Right.
So if you have any thoughts for us, make a comment, visit our YouTube channel, like our show, pass it on to your friends, family, and all the best. Another week in AVID Chat. Good to chat.
All right. See you, Dave.
See ya.